That was kind of like something that I heard as far as the, walking around the airdropping a flyer. And I thought that was pretty dope. I actually tried it. Not everybody has their airdrop on. There was probably like 2 or 3 at the time I tried it, but hey, it was 2 or 3 that I did it anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? So
That's crazy to do.
no, there's nothing wrong with it. It's up to them if they want to accept it.
That's literally sliding through someone's phone.
Definitely. Guys, listen,
that's
man,
dope though. That's dope.
If you see a good-looking girl, you see she's got an iPhone, you trying to do something, hey, maybe try it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It might work, but you don't know.
When I was younger, you'd have to go up to a woman and talk to her, and there was no sending a DM or you had to write a little note and slip her a note. She'd read it to all her friends.
Well,
and
that's
shit like that.
slipping a note in your phone. Like
exactly, that's exactly it.
You feel me?
What's up, guys? It's Not Your Ordinary Barber with N.Y.O Barbershop.
What's up, guys? It's CT Barber here one more time. Another episode.
All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about a couple things. We're going to be talking about marketing, and we're going to be talking about learning by experience.
Okay.
Now, let's start off with that. All right. So I was listening to a podcast earlier today. It was Marv. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah.
He he does all this stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, but he has a podcast also. And he was talking about a situation that happened to him with a customer that he hasn't seen in a very long time. I guess so when he first opened the barbershop, he had his clientele, but he didn't see this customer for like years while he had the barbershop open. All of a sudden he came back.
Oh, it was his client.
It used to be his client or whatever, like disappeared for like, I don't know, a year or whatever. But he was talking about how a situation where he came to get a haircut, the customer, he started talking to the customer and he was taking his time and he wasn't rushing, so he was where...
As you should.
Yeah, so basically he said his haircuts take about 20 minutes or something like that. And he was at like 30-minute mark and the customer was already like digging in his pocket, stuff like that,
Looking at the watch type of stuff.
Yeah, looking at the watch, and digging in his pocket. And he said, he pulled the phone out and his wife was like, oh snap, is my wife, I got to get it, And he was like, oh, but what's going on? He was like, oh, I got to take my dog to the vet at 3:00, and it was already like 2:30. So he starts talking about how he was like, look, dude, I could have made this haircut faster if you'd have let me know ahead of time, blah, blah, blah.
Communication.
Yeah, but the thing was with him is the customer doesn't know that. You know what I mean? No. The customer thinks it may be 20 minutes or whatever it is, but the customer thinks it's like 20 minutes or something like that is going to take, but in actuality, he's taking his time. So I want to talk about how to handle certain situations and try to feel a customer out. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if a customer's kind of like in a rush, he may not express that to you, thinking that he might not take that long in the chair. But when you sit your customers down, it should be something that, You
kind of notice by starting a conversation and stuff like that, maybe.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, you're talking to him. You're like, look, listen, you got a couple minutes? Are you in a rush? There's nothing wrong with asking that.
Yeah.
I kind of do that in a way because I smoke cigarettes. So my thing is, give me a couple minutes. I'm going to go smoke. The customer's like, take your time. Then I know, okay, well, we got some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of notice and go by off of that. The reaction of the client.
Yeah, so if he's kind of like, all right, then I'm like, okay, well, this guy's kind of in a rush. You know what I mean? So kind of learning by experience, but also kind of explaining to the customer in a nice way, like, or asking them, look, are you in a rush or do you have somewhere to be right away? Normally the haircut takes about 45 minutes, but I like to try to, take my time if that's okay with you,
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's one way to handle certain situations, There's a bus that comes here,
No.
And every single person on that bus only has about 20 minutes.
No. 15, 20 minutes.
And so when they come in for a haircut, it's like they're in a rush. But none of them ever say, look, I got 15 minutes only. You know what I'm trying to say? We know that because of experience, because we've seen them come. We've had, some of the barbers take their time on them, and they're kind of like trying to rush to get out. You know what I mean? But in actuality, they only have 15 minutes. The bus comes, they got 15 minutes to get a haircut, they get their food, they do their food shopping. So if you implement that every single time you have a customer in the chair, and you want to take your time with them, and you want to spend a little bit more, or you want to go eat something or use the bathroom, kind of bring that out, or bring that subject up. Look, are you in a rush? I want to do this real quick, and see how he or even she reacts. Really,
I think it goes like both ways, because sometimes the client doesn't say anything, and the barber might now notice because they're not thinking about that. And I think clients should like express that. Say like you walk in a barbershop and, oh, listen, I have 20 minutes. Sometimes we're not, that we're not aware, or we're not thinking about
no, of course,
how much time a client has just to get a haircut. Usually we're gonna take an hour, 45 minutes, depending what it is, but usually that's what it is, minimum 35, 40 minutes. So kind of goes both ways.
Now I use an app. You use the app too. On the app, it
tells you
by time.
Yeah, the service that you're gonna.
So regular man's haircut, I have it 45 minutes because I don't like to rush. Haircut and beard, I have I think for an hour. So if you're in a rush, this goes out to the customers too. If you guys are in a rush and you have to be somewhere at a certain time, don't be afraid to tell your barber, look, I only got half hour today, or whatever the case is, because I've had customers that's come 20 minutes or 15 minutes late to their appointment, and because they're 15 minutes late to their appointment,
we get behind.
We go behind, So sometimes I tell them, look, I only have half an hour to give you a haircut. You know what I'm trying to say? So the same way I communicated, the same way you guys can just be like, look, I'm kind of in a rush today. I got to go do something. The barber is not going to feel a type of way about that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sometimes they got to eat. Let's say the first appointment was late. And the first appointment, if the first appointment is late, your whole day is going to be late, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So you got to adjust during your lunch time, all the time. So sometimes you got to sacrifice your time for the clients and stuff like that. So,
the other thing is that there's also, there's notes on some of these apps that we use. You can go and put a little note or whatever. Look, I need to be running on time. And I charge a little extra for appointments and things like that, but I'm also trying to be as punctual as possible.
Yeah.
If I see that it's almost 5 o'clock and your appointment's at 5 o'clock and you're not here yet, I'm going to kind of be like, look, I'll send a quick message. Or if I'm running behind, the same thing. Look, I'll send a quick message.
Yeah.
So that way they know that I'm running a little bit behind, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm trying to say? So communication's key, man. You gotta try to communicate with them.
Yeah, that's another thing. Barbers, if you're running behind, there's nothing wrong with texting your next client and say, oh, look, I'm running a little bit late behind. And because clients, they do not like waiting.
Yeah, no.
They don't like sitting down or messing around the barbershop. So it's good to let them know, because they will appreciate it more if you do that. Or even call them real quick. Like, look.
Especially if they're paying a little extra for an appointment, You
want to be as punctual as possible, like you said.
Yeah, and if you're running a little bit behind, customers appreciate that. You know what I mean? Look, you're sending a message.
Yeah, when you communicate, they do.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that's a big thing. You try to be as punctual as possible. Don't go and pay your cell phone bill while you have an appointment. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Try not to say, look, I got to go eat real quick. Set time for your lunch break. For yourself, set time if you have to go and pay your phone bill. Set time if you got to go do something, in the app, so that way customers don't book that, and you have that free time for yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? What do you think about walk-ins, new customers, that are like real picky and kind of like iffy, and they feel a type of way about how, certain people cut their hair or whatever,
Well, it's what I said. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice yourself for maybe even the barbershop, not just yourself as a barber. Sometimes everybody's cutting and say I have lunchtime and there's too many people in here. Sometimes I'll take a walk and as a lunch
Yeah.
just to help out on the barbershop and myself, because obviously that's job, that's work. So I've done it myself, like try to help out, you know, make some extra money also, and you know.
What I think is like, I try not to do walk-ins at all, but I like to try to leave that for the guys in the shop. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, yeah, me too. But I make sure everybody's working before I do that. I say I've done it, but not just because I want to do it. More like try to help out type of thing.
And then it's hard now because people still think in a way that everything is with walk-ins. Ever since COVID and that pandemic and stuff like that, everything has just been appointments. So
People
now,
hate it. They hate it.
a lot of people hate the fact that they have to sit there and make an appointment.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth it. You know what I'm trying to say?
I've seen people saying that they have never seen a barbershop with walk-ins. Maybe that has to do with like the state that they come from, that they move new or whatever. But they say that they never seen that before. You was there on the half, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know how.
It's just things we gotta deal with as like
I don't know how
barbers, professionals.
Barbershops always, from as long as I know, man, always took walk-ins.
Yeah.
Salons and things like that were always by appointment. So usually they tried to do appointments. But barbershops, man, were just like, yo, you just come and you sit. Sometimes you have to sit there an hour and a half, kick it with the people in there, whatnot. You know what I mean? And then you go get your hair cut. But salons, whatever, Great Clips and places like that, all that was appointments back then. Now it's kind of like funny, you know what I mean? Like some people look at it like, oh, I got to make an appointment. Yeah, you have to make an appointment. That's crazy. That's that lady we dyed her hair that one time, right? All right, guys, listen, while we're doing this, people passing by, waving, trying to get through the door. So if you see us look away and start talking about something, that's because someone's either trying to get in or waving at us. You know what I mean? All right, now you wanted to talk about a couple of things, too. You wanted to talk about...
I was talking about, like, marketing ideas.
Okay.
So that goes by, like, let's say, that's literally, like, promoting yourself. Like, say your Instagram is up to date, maybe Facebook, TikTok, all of that. Make sure you have your address there. You're constantly updating yourself, posting pictures, like videos, stuff like that.
I like to try to look up and try to figure new ways to market yourself. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, even stuff like this, dude, you know what I mean? Like we're doing a little podcast, whether it's just me and him or, or if it's just him just talking or me talking, that's a way of promoting yourself as well.
Keeping social media very engaging. That's a good one.
Yeah. Talk about that.
So basically, keeping it engaged means like you're constantly doing stuff. You're promoting, you're posting pictures, you're maybe sending out messages, like using hashtags. What else you can get from that? The apps, they have literally like boost messages that you can do, and like
we use Booksy. Booksy has like he's talking about the templates that you can put down.
Yep.
And you could put photos in the background, your own little message to customers. Sometimes you could take the reviews. Reviews you guys put in there, and people can see the reviews customers leave. Stuff like that. And I know sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you're over there and you draw a blank. You don't know what to post. You may not have a great day, and you may not have a haircut that, something different. You may have the same people over and over again, and you may have them on your Instagram. You may have them already. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So sometimes you kind of draw a blank. What I like to try to do is talk with the guys, and sometimes just the conversation that you're having with the customer in the chair is content. Sometimes a conversation that you're having with another barber is content. Sometimes you cleaning your station is content. You know, um, just a little bit of everything. You got a new machine, you're opening your new machine, that's content. People want to hear about that. People do, there's a barber out there that doesn't have that machine that's thinking about buying it and wants to hear what you have to say about it. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think that, even if you draw a blank, just try to look outside the box. Try to just go out and figure something else out. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's more of like the way you look at things. Cause like say that you said if you're cleaning your station, that might be content. If you like create like a collage or whatever about cleaning, oh I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I have hours available, come through, stuff like that. That's promoting your time. You're posting that you have time available. You're promoting yourself.
And another thing is sometimes you could do specials, man. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with dropping your prices $5 or $10 on a slower day for yourself.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Say like a Wednesday.
On a slower
Tuesday.
day, so that way you can get more clientele. Sometimes you can get new people. Now, if you're a barber that's booked all the time and you don't have room, close the day off. Close the day off and do some walk-ins. Close the day off and just kind of see how that goes. You know what I mean? And you get new people, different people, and you can try to do some more content that way as well. Thing too, is a good way to market yourself. I don't remember where I heard it from, but that idea was freaking awesome. Everybody has iPhones. Everybody's got phones. You could walk around. There's apps, Canva, Adobe Spark Posts,
Yeah, I heard the
where you can make kind of like a flyer. You know what I'm trying to say? To promote yourself as well. So the thing with these iPhones is, aside from sending messages to somebody, or you can airdrop to people that you don't even have in your contacts. So let's say you're in a mall, or you're in a busy place. You're in a Foot Locker, or you're in a Dunkin' Donuts, or at a Starbucks, or something like that, getting coffee. You can open up your airdrop, okay, and airdrop those people your flyer. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you don't know them, it may seem a little funny, but it's up to them if they want to accept it. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't have to accept it. So, business cards and things like that's cool, but sometimes without even, if you're that type of person that doesn't like to talk, like to engage people in the street, or just walk up to them and be like, "Oh, look, I'm a barber, blah blah blah." This is one way that you can go and kind of, market yourself without having to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of similar to the other that I have, like creating professional messages and importing and sharing it with your contacts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not bad to remind, say, like your contacts or your social media friends of what you do.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of those apps too, you could do like those emails, or a lot of the customers have to put their information in, so their name, their phone number, their email, however they want
So
you to
it pops
contact
out,
them.
yeah.
So you can make like a message, like, "Hey guys, I haven't seen you in a while, whatever. Wednesdays are my slower days. If you're having problems, booking, try to book on this day, and just send it to everybody in the contact list on your app."
Yeah, that's a good one, because a lot of clients, they ask you, "Oh, what are your slower days?" You ever had that?
All the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
you're
would
never
be-
slow, and you're like, "No, dude, Tuesday and Wednesdays are the slower days."
That
And
would
you're
be a great message to send them then.
I actually had a customer ask, "Oh, you don't work weekends?" I go, "Dude, I work here every Saturday." They're like, "Dude, I can never get in on a Saturday." I go, "Well, you wait too long." You know what I mean? Like, but
Gotta book a month ahead.
there's nothing wrong with booking it. Like, if you have an event, guys, you got something coming up, go on. Like, look, let's say
Think
it's your
about
birthday.
yourself. You're thinking about the haircut that you're gonna get, how you gonna look to go to that.
100% right. It's your
Come on,
birthday.
man.
Let's say your birthday's coming up, right? Your birthday's coming up. Okay, my birthday's on the 24th.
Plan it out.
I want to get a haircut the day before, so on the 23rd, I'm going to book it. Like, dude, you could do that a year ahead of time. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Barbers, you can get your customers used to that too.
Yeah.
Get that in routine after you cut their hair. As soon as they get enough from the shave, you can remind them to do it. on the app,
Or-
or do it like manually yourself right there.
As soon as they
While
get
you're
up,
in
as soon
front
as
of
they're
them.
done with it, if you know it's a
Exactly.
customer that
I have clients they do that
Yeah.
as soon as they get up from the chair. They do.
as soon as they get up out the chair, and you know that you have a customer that every 2 weeks he's usually trying to make an appointment. Let them book it right then and there. Today I had 2 of them. Today I had 2 guys that okay, on this day, this time, and one of them was on my birthday, and I put down. I was like, okay, well, I'm not working that day. I took the day off, so I was like, all right, you know what? I can't that day because I'm taking the day off. So he just set it up for the next day after that.
Yep.
There's also recurring ones where a customer can book, and they can set it up for every 2 weeks, the same day, the same time. There's tons of ways to get in, guys. There isn't.
Yeah, I have clients like that say like every week, Saturday at 9 a.m., like a set schedule. If they're going to miss or they're not going to be able to make it, get them used to saying something or sending a message or talking to you, communicating before they don't go or anything like that.
Now let's get back to where you were talking about marketing. So that was kind of like something that I heard as far as the walking around and airdropping a flyer, and I thought that was pretty dope. I actually tried it. Not everybody has their airdrop on. There was probably like 2 or 3 at the time I tried it, but hey, it was 2 or 3 that I did it anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? So
that's crazy to do.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's up to them if they want to accept it.
That's literally sliding through someone's phone.
Definitely. Guys, listen,
that's
man,
dope though. That's dope.
If you see a good-looking girl, you see she's got an iPhone, you trying to do something, hey, maybe try it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It might work, but you don't know.
When I was younger, you'd have to go up to a woman and talk to her, and there was no sending a DM or you had to write a little note and slip her a note. She'd read it to all her friends and shit like that. Well, that's like
slipping a note in your phone. Like,
exactly. That's exactly it.
Feel me?
Stop sending so many messages through Instagram. But that's one way you could try that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. That's really good marketing yourself.
Another thing too, punch cards. I think we talked about that one time.
Yeah, we did.
You can do, excuse me. You could do something where you have punch cards or loyalty cards, where for every 9 haircuts you give them 1 free, or something like that. There's nothing wrong with doing a free haircut to a customer that's always coming to you. You know what I mean?
Or sending you people, yeah.
A lot of customers too. Yeah, true. They'll send you customers. They'll recommend you to their friends or their cousins or family members that come down for the weekend or whatever the case is.
That's the ones you gotta keep around.
Yeah, hell yeah. Those are the ones that help you. Those are the ones that actually show more support than your friends.
Yeah, that's what it is. Showing support, being there for you.
Another thing that we were talking about as far as marketing, there's nothing wrong with business cards, guys. Spark Posts, Adobe Spark Posts, Canva, those apps I learned that are probably like the easiest ones to use, and you can do they have templates already set up. You can just kind of delete what's on there, add your information, and go to Staples, get yourself some business cards, or keep a template, even like you said, in your phone. And you can message or send that to people as well. Another good way to market yourself is, let's say you did a haircut to a customer you never cut before and it's your first time. You take a picture, you take a photo or video, and you post it on your Instagram, but you also tag them as well. Or Snapchat, you tag them as well, because now everybody that follows that person is going to see it as well. You understand what I'm saying? So even if they don't follow you, they follow him, and they can see that you're the person that cut them, and they'll start following you, and they'll start looking into your work. You know what I'm trying to say?
You had a really good idea when you was building this barbershop, that it was like to have a TV in front of the screen like that, in front of the barbershop, like with a slideshow of all the haircuts that we do. I really like that idea. We should do that going forward. That's a really nice way to market yourself too.
That was Muñeco. Muñeco gave me that idea.
Okay.
Muñeco was
I always like that idea that when you talked about.
But I'm afraid someone will smash the freaking glass and take the freaking TV.
Yeah, that too, boy.
So yeah, we're not in the best area. Just like everywhere else, you got bad and good. I'm not saying we're in a bad area, but
Yeah.
it's just that's expected. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's very possible. But yeah, that could definitely happen. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we just set something further back. I don't know. Yeah, but that's another way to market yourself.
Or this here, right there.
Yeah, keep it playing all night or something.
Plain.
Yeah, you'd have to put photos up.
Oh well, okay, okay.
Yeah, you have to keep it playing. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that you can do to market yourself,
Yeah.
market your barbershop. All right, so what other ideas would you have?
There's a ton of things that when you're driving in the highway where you see like advertising here for such and such. Imagine that, like you're driving on the highway and you see like your poster, N.Y.O barbershop 570, da 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 da. That's really cool. I've seen a lot of people doing it like on benches, like in the parks and stuff like that. I've seen that. I've seen posters. I've seen many things. It's a lot of ideas you can come up with just to promote.
We had one of my customers has a video truck.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. Yeah. And he does it still. He still plays a commercial.
Around, yeah.
So it's basically a big box truck. On the outside of the box truck, the walls of the box truck are TV screens.
Big screen, yeah.
With speakers. So what he does is if you have a video or something like that, he'll put it on there and you can advertise your business on there as well.
For like a few weeks?
Yeah, a few weeks, a month, however long you want to do it.
Okay.
And he'll I don't think he could drive around in certain like on the expressway and stuff like that with it playing because that's kind of like a traffic hazard. But he'll park
the city.
Yeah, he'll park in like somewhere where it's busy. It'll play while he's driving around locally. It'll play, and you get to advertise that way as well.
That's a good one because he's gonna go everywhere.
Yeah, no, he goes everywhere, man. He goes everywhere. Word of advice to you guys: if that's something you guys are interested in, Google it. Look up video truck. Or video
promoting, advertising, yeah.
Or a promotion company. Excuse me.
Maybe they have it around your city and you don't know.
And you can kind of book with, set something up that way too.
No.
Another good thing is make a commercial, dude. Make a little commercial for your barbershop where you promote not just the shop owner or the nicest barber in the barbershop. Promote your barbers, promote every single
another one, radio station. Have them mention the name of your barbershop, whatever you want. That is your business, or there's a ton of things.
I haven't done a radio station thing because I don't think many people listen to the radio anymore. Really,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Or commercial like.
It's more like a Hispanic thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, not even a Hispanic thing. It's like. Like we're this, what is it? Is a year and 6 months that we just got a Spanish station in the area.
Yeah.
So guys, I've been out here for about, I want to say 12, probably longer than that, dude. Like 15 years, and just recently, within the year and a half, we just got a Spanish radio station.
No.
So that's kind of, I still listen to the radio sometimes, but just so you can see where we're at over here, all right?
No. It's a way to promote, and though, like they play it at like supermarkets. They play it at.
A lot of people listen to that radio station out here, bro.
No. You'll be surprised.
So look into a video truck. We did that. That was pretty dope. A lot of people said that they saw our commercial or our little skit on the truck. I actually had people were reposting it, tagging the barbershop, sending me text messages, and I thought that was pretty dope, man.
It was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope, and
he parked in front of the barbershop too.
Yeah, he parked in the barber. He comes here every now and then, parks it there. I don't know how all that is going for him. You know what I mean? But I think he's still doing pretty good with it. All right, so real quick, I want to go back to what we were talking about originally when we first started. like the learning process.
Experiences.
Yeah. So you're gonna have you're gonna have people that are in a rush. You're gonna have people that are not in a rush. You're gonna have people that are very picky with their haircut. You're gonna have people that really don't care about their haircut. You as a barber, you have to kind of feel that out. You know what I'm trying to say? You got to kind of be the person to feel out if they're in a rush, if they're not in a rush.
The judge of what's going on.
Yeah, you kind of have to feel all that out, you know, and even that in itself gets kind of stressful too, man. You know what I mean? Because you can have someone that doesn't care how long you're gonna take with them. Then you got someone that's like, look, I got only a few minutes, blah blah blah, who's picking up with a phone every 2 seconds, you know. So you got to kind of learn how to handle that situation. I actually had a customer. I still do it to him, bro. He's got 2 phones. He want to have the phone in his ear the whole time, and
Oh, you're gonna have that every time.
yeah, he wants the phone in his ear the whole time. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Oh, hold on 1 second. Oh, hold on 1 second. You're like, dude, like we got 45 minutes, dude.
Enjoy
My
your
next
haircut.
customer is gonna be here. You know, I think he witnessed it. I swear to you, I actually I told the customer, like, give me your phone.
You didn't say give me your phone. You just grabbed.
I put the thing on the shelf, and I'm like, now we're gonna finish your haircut. He kind of stared at me like,
Oh shit.
I go, I'm sorry, dude, I just can't do it, you know. And it wasn't, you know, I'm comfortable with him. I've been cutting him for a long time. He knows me for a while, and so it wasn't like just clear out of the blue. I just went and did it, but. Yeah, it got to a point where I was just kind of like, all right, dude, enough's enough. You know what I mean? That ever happened to you?
Yeah. Basically it's like we want the customer to enjoy the haircut. That you're like relax. You know how come don't you feel like comfortable or like proud of yourself when a customer like sleeps in?
Yeah, I love it.
That means you're comfortable because you know when guys are in the barbershop that they're just looking around and like, you know, it's good. It feels good when they trust you.
Yeah.
They trust you and they fall asleep or anything like that.
You know, I have a customer that he always falls asleep at the wrong time. And I'm not falling asleep, but he starts nodding out. Always at this time, right? He'd be like this, and I'll be trying to line up his front. I'm like, dude, this is the wrong time to fall asleep. But
Oh
he'll
my
be like
bad,
this.
yo! I work overnight.
And he'd be like this. It was just like that. And I'm like, dude, you can't fall asleep like that. You know, just wait 2 more minutes, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. He closes his eyes, be like this.
Whoop.
Yeah,
That's the brain shutting down.
you know, I get it. You're tired, cool, you know, but you had a whole 40 minutes, a whole half hour, dude, to do that. And after that, now is where you're trying to nod out. Like, that's not.
No.
That gets.
We don't care. It's just that like we're not comfortable cutting your hair like that because you might get cut if we're using the razor, or might get scratched with the clipper, or something.
Get your hairline pushed back.
Fuck your shit up. Yeah.
Luckily, that's never really happened.
Nah.
Let's clarify that. But if you're gonna fall asleep, do it within the first segment of your haircut. Don't wait till you get lined up.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the razor's on your forehead to try to knot out. You know,
My God.
that's not going to be a good look.
I witnessed that one time.
Where?
At the first barbershop where I started working, I seen this little boy guy.
Where he fell asleep or something? Or what?
No. Somebody opened the door and you know how kids are.
Oh.
He did the line himself with the razor. It was great. He shake out.
He had a permanent line. Permanent.
You should have seen his dad's face.
How much blood was it?
A lot.
Yeah.
We got like the kid and everything, bro. 20 band-aids. I think he went into hospital after that.
That was that bad, bro?
No.
Hospital?
No.
Yeah, that's not good.
His dad was shocked for like 5 minutes, bro. Like, pale.
Gauze pads and everything.
All of that.
Wow. You know, that's crazy that...
I think the barber ended up telling his dad that he had free haircuts for his entire life, some shit like that.
Wow.
It wasn't his fault though, because I saw it.
No, I know, but something like that, wow.
It was crazy.
Did you ever see the kid again?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he'd probably come back.
I don't think it's that on back to barbers. I don't think so.
You know, it was a thing, a rule. I made up, not made up, but it's probably everywhere. If you're a barber and maybe you're learning or whatever the case is, the shop owner would tell the barber, look, any 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 haircut that's messed up, any any blood that's drawn is because of a cut, not because of a pimple or anything like that. It's a free haircut. And you guys are gonna
like that.
yeah. So you cut somebody, you're giving them a free haircut.
Oh shit.
You we had a kid here. He was cutting with the clipper over comb. He didn't have a guard on the thing. He yanked, went in and made a hole. That should have been a free haircut.
Right them.
So I bet shop owners, if you enforce that onto your barbers, look, you cut somebody, you zeke them, you give them a haircut that they don't want, that's a free haircut. And you watch and see how
They'll be disciplined. They'll be more careful, I'm sure, but sometimes their skin is so sensitive that you might not be able to control that. But
you can always control a cut.
They'll be more careful, yeah.
You can always control a cut.
Yeah.
Unless they move like what happened with the little kid. Unless they move with the little kid or something like that it's not your fault. I get it. But you sensitive skin will turn red. You're not gonna slice somebody because your skin is sensitive. It doesn't happen.
Exactly. No, not slice. That means your pulse is not that good.
Well, that's what I mean. Like sometimes you're shaving somebody and their pores are so thick and those hairs are so thick that it looks like they're bleeding, but it's just their pores. That's not a cut. That's not a haircut. I'm sorry, that's not a cut.
You mean like a slice?
A slice? Yeah, that's a free haircut.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's a free haircut. Something like that, you can't. You don't slice somebody. I mean, it's happened. I've done it, in the past, learning,
Of course.
But it's a free haircut. You cut somebody, it's a free haircut. No. All right, guys. So that's about it for now. Stay tuned for episode number 5. I think we're up to
5.
All right, yo. Y'all be safe. All right.
Peace.